Hey, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Kings and Nuggets tonight. No Kevin Herter. Also, Keegan Murray is questionable with an ankle. Jamal Murray of the Nuggets is probable. Kings opening up a 5-game homestand at home tonight against the Nuggets. That means that Rhino will have the pregame show. Jerry Reynolds joins us at halftime, and then we will have the postgame show with your phone calls. 2 games tonight in the NFL, the Bears and the Vikings and the Falcons and the Raiders. We talk about yesterday's NFL action. And if you want to contribute, you can do so. Would love to be able to talk to you right here on If You Don't Like That. Here is the link. You got the QR code over my shoulder, but that is the link. And you can give me a shout, and happy to put you on right here on today's program. Only going to go about 30 minutes. We got the doubleheader of the NFL. We got the Kings game, so we got a lot of stuff coming your way right here on If You Don't Like That. All right, I'm going to start with my rant from today, and that has to do with the Lions. You know, the Lions to me now have some real issues because they lost 3 more starters on defense. They are decimated on that side of the football. They also lost Montgomery, their running back, one of their running backs for the year, so he's out. And it has to do with Dan Campbell. Listen, I know Dan Campbell's done a hell of a job there, but I also know that Dan Campbell made 2 bonehead decisions in the NFC Championship game a year ago, which to me cost the Lions a Super Bowl berth. And, you know, we talk about this almost every week. You know, you're down 10 points with 12 minutes left, and you're trying an onside kick. Really? Like, why? To me, the Lions, first of all, I think defensively they're not going to do very well in the playoffs this year because of their injuries. But what kind of decision is that? What kind of decision is that? It's just awful. I mean, it really is just awful. And he even took ownership after the game, but it's just bad coaching. Bad coaching. There's nothing else to say about it. Then you got Jonathan Taylor of the Colts. Why do we have to talk about this almost every week? With a guy running into the end zone and he drops the football before he breaks the plane. Now, I did watch Jonathan Taylor's post-game media interview, and it was great. I got to give him credit. He was great. But that does not excuse the stupidity on the field in that situation. That's brutal. Seriously. Absolutely brutal. And there's no other way to say it. Brutal. All right, let's get to Michael. Michael, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Grant.
Good.
What about you?
Good.
NFL. It's been tough for my Raiders. I mean, 2-11. It's brutal, but we've dealt with way too many injuries. It's hard.
You have a terrible owner. It starts with the ownership. Mark Davis is an awful owner.
I think so. I've been hearing rumors, about firing AP. To me, don't fire AP. I would give him another year. You have to build the stability and see what happens. If it doesn't work, okay. What about your thoughts?
I don't think he should have gotten the job in the first place. I think it's pretty obvious when Davante Adams wants out. You heard the issues in the middle of the year from some of the other players.
Yeah, I don't blame Davante.
I understand, but to me, Antonio Pierce is not an NFL head coach, and I believe that the Raiders should make a change. And I don't think Mark Davis should have anything to do with the hiring of a new coach because he has proven that he's not capable of hiring a head coach. So he needs to stay out of it.
Yeah. Brady, I think I heard will make a decision since now he's a minority owner about the QB, right? So, you're going for, I think, number 1 or number 2, either way. By the way, I'm so sorry about your Giants 2-11 also.
Yeah, I'm actually happy they're losing because I want to see them get a high draft pick. But I think they're the worst team in football this year. I think they're the worst team in football.
If you had to say, would Giants being 1 or 2? That's a tough one between the Raiders and the Giants. Raiders, I guess, will be number 1 because of a strengthened schedule. Maybe. We have a tougher schedule.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe. Yep.
we need to get a QB. I don't know, plenty of pieces we need to get. Rebuilding is supposed to take time, yeah, but I think Tom Telesco, it's only his first. I think it's his first year, right? I mean, I want to see what he does, right?
Well, it's going to be interesting because I don't think Antonio Pierce will be back as head coach. I don't. Will it be interesting to see who they hire?
That makes sense. Makes sense to you. Thank you. The Kings, Nuggets. Looks like it's a good matchup.
Yeah,
I think we expect.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a close game. I want to see if Keegan Murray plays for Sacramento. He's questionable.
I hope
Kevin
so.
Huerter for Sacramento, so that's going to hurt. They're
So who's going to be in for Huerter? Who's supposed to?
Well, Huerter's coming off the bench now, but someone's going to have to pick up the pace scoring on the bench because
Huerter will come off the bench. Okay,
is, going to be an issue. Thank you, Michael. You have a good day, a good night.
Okay. You too, Greg.
All right, take care. Let's move along to John next, right here on If You Don't Like That. Hey, John.
Grant, how are you, buddy?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, man. This was one fun weekend that I watched last weekend, and the previous weekend was great. Next weekend with the college football playoffs is going to be fun. We've been looking for you for a long, long time. And
it's going to be good.
When there's just 4 to 5th, there's a team or two that gets left out. The team and we're getting the best competition in the play against each other now finally, so we can really figure.
John, you got a terrible connection. We can't hear you, so I have to let you go, my friend. But thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you want to get in on the program, you can do so. We'd love to hear from you. There is the link, and we'd be happy to put you on. Hopefully, you get a better connection than we had with John. The bottom line with the NFL is certain teams, and the Raiders are in that mix. They don't seem to do things right with their decision making, and it just continues to backfire on them. Whether it's the hiring of John Gruden, the hiring of Josh McDaniels, I mean, it's been bad. It really has. And they're just, and it's a shame. You got that beautiful stadium in Vegas, and every week when you have a home game, it's mostly road fans, so you don't have a home field advantage. It's just terrible. It really is. It's very unfortunate. I think the Raiders, I don't see a quick fix, especially in that division. Injury is a big part of what's going on right now in the NFL. You saw the injury to Patrick Mahomes. You saw the injury to Geno Smith. The Lions lost 3 more starters on defense. So, man, I'll tell you, health. See, Cody, I disagree with you entirely. Gruden did not have them rolling. I disagree 100%. He didn't have them rolling. John Gruden is not a good head coach. Not at all. I disagree with you. He didn't have them rolling. I mean, help me out here, Cody. How did he have them rolling? I didn't see that at all. I think John Gruden is just not a good head coach. I didn't understand that in the first place. I really did not understand that. Again, if you want to get in on the program, you can do so. Again, the Kings and the Nuggets tonight. Rhino will have the pregame show. Jerry Reynolds joins us at halftime. And then the postgame show as we will take your phone calls. Can't disagree with either point during the rant. The onside was ridiculous. Campbell is a great motivator, but he needs someone on the bench to run decisions by. Jonathan Taylor, unbelievable. Amen. Absolutely. No question about that. Thank you for the input. Thank you for the input. All right. Again, when you look at what's going on right now with the NFL, who do you think are the most likely teams who are the most likely teams that you think are going to be in the Super Bowl? What do you think? I don't believe he did have him in the playoffs. Or then you say that's right. Rich Bisaccia was the coach when they lost at Cincinnati. But who do you think are the most likely teams to get to the Super Bowl? And again, there may be some injuries along the way still, but who do you think? NFC, who do you like? I tell you, I think Detroit's not there anymore. I'm sorry. Not with all the injuries they have. Is it Philadelphia? Is it Minnesota? Is it Green Bay? I'll take Green Bay to me is my dark horse. That team has the ability. And they played very well in Seattle yesterday. Very, very well. Buffalo, Philadelphia. I'll tell you, Buffalo may be the team this year. I know we say that a lot. But boy, offensively, they're the real deal. I'm a little concerned about their defense. But, if Mahomes does not play for a couple of games, could the Bills catch them? And, of course, the Bills have the tiebreaker, but it's going to be difficult. I still think Kansas City will get the number 1 seed. Be interesting to see what they do with the decision-making around Patrick Mahomes. No doubt about that. Got the Eagles versus the Bills, Chiefs. I just cannot put Detroit in there right now with all of the injuries that they have on defense. I think Dan Campbell is going to hurt them with his decision-making at some point during the playoffs. I don't see how Detroit's going to stop anybody. That's the big issue I see. I mean, I don't remember seeing this many injuries on a football team on defense. I just do not. I don't remember. It's been a long time. It's been a long, long time. So, Philadelphia, one of the teams from the NFC North. What about the Rams? The Rams were awful early in the season. They're now gaining momentum, and they're first place in the NFC West. I'm just, maybe we shouldn't just count out the Rams automatically if they win their division. Because, obviously only one team's getting in there, and it's going to be the team that wins the division. They just beat Buffalo last week. Let's not forget about that. They beat Buffalo, and then on a short week beat San Francisco in Santa Clara. I mean, let's not forget about them. Do not forget about the Rams. Not just yet. I love this time of year, though, in the NFL because, you look at the divisions that are already wrapped up. Obviously, Buffalo, AFC East, right? AFC North, open. Pittsburgh, Baltimore. One game separates them. They play this week. Houston, they're going to win the AFC South. AFC West, Kansas City's going to win that division. We know that. Philly's got the NFC East wrapped up. NFC North up for grabs. Detroit, Minnesota plays tonight, both with 2 losses. Green Bay hanging around at 10-4. Tampa, 8-6. Atlanta needs to win tonight to go to 7-7. And then you got the Rams, tiebreaker advantage over Seattle. So, I mean, there's some big games coming up. Big games. And, the games tonight, again, you take a look at how important some of them are. They're both important for the Vikings and the Falcons. Both need to win. Both need to win. And then you look at the games coming up this week, right? And it gets underway with Denver at the Chargers, big game. Then you have 2 games on Saturday, Houston at Kansas City, huge game. Pittsburgh at Baltimore, huge game, right? Then you have the Lions at the Bears. The Rams are at the Jets. Philly at Washington. Minnesota is at Seattle, huge game. Big games coming up. And New Orleans at Green Bay, there's some big game. That's Monday night. 2 games on Monday night again. So, yeah. All right, let's get to Jay. Jay, welcome to the show. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. I wanted to get your keys to tonight's victory.
The Kings bench has got to do something without Kevin Huerter.
Yeah. I guess that's pretty obvious one, right? No Kevin Huerter, no Trey Lyles, and I don't know, Keegan Murray's questionable. I'm kind of at the point where you are, I guess, with the patience of Keegan, just regarding like if you're gonna be questionable, don't even play. Like if you're not, you know what I mean?
But that's not. He doesn't. He has nothing.
He's
to
not
do
in
with
charge
that.
of it,
Right. I mean, they have to do that. It's league protocol, and I disagree with you. Questionable means you're 50-50. So if you're 50,
I know. Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
it's not his fault. If he's got an ankle problem, he's got an ankle problem. I mean, what is he supposed to do?
I know. I just don't want. I think we've had it a few times, but where we've had guys that were questionable, and I'm sure it happens to every team, but it sucks when it happens to yours, right? Where you're like, okay, you know what? We really need this guy. He plays and he doesn't show up.
Yeah, but he's not. He's not. If you're hurt, you're hurt. You know, it's not like you don't get hurt on purpose, Jay.
No, I know. It's not about the injury thing. It's more like I want him, if he's going to play, if he's like cleared to play tonight off the injury report, I want him to show up and actually play. Like I just don't want this to hinder him mentally.
Well, he's gonna give it the best shot, and then after that, it's up to Mike Brown to determine whether he's playing well or not.
Yeah, no, definitely. But you got the best player right now in the NBA, Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
I heard Jamal Murray is probable. So he's probably going to play.
Right. 75% chance he'll play.
Yeah. But they have Aaron Gordon back. I remember last week you were talking about that to a caller, and then they still have Michael Porter Jr. So they have that wing depth, at least with Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. He's a tall power forward, or like a tall small forward. He's like 6'11", 6'10" for a small forward. So it would be nice to have someone like Keegan out there. I mean, I'm not sure what the starting lineup would look like without him. I would imagine you'd probably have to go small, and you'd probably have to throw Jay Crowder at the 4.
Boy, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, right? Who would you start if you missing Trey, Kevin, and Keegan? I mean,
it's tough to say. It's a good point. That's a really good. I don't know. I wish I could just give you a straight answer. I don't.
You're
know.
not putting Doug McDermott out there. I wouldn't.
No.
Off the bench. I mean, you might have to off of the bench, but I wouldn't start him. You're going to have to go with Jay Crowder, someone who I think he could physically match up with Aaron Gordon. Obviously, Aaron Gordon's the younger guy, but he's still a bigger body out there. He's a veteran. He knows how to play. That's what I would imagine you would see: a Monk, Fox, Jay Crowder, DeMar.
Well, if Nikola Jokic has one of his games, the Kings are in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we have Sabonis because Sabonis has shown that I don't want to say replicate what Nikola Jokic does, but I think he comes the closest to it as far as, stat wise, assists, rebounds, triple doubles, double doubles. He's healthy most of the season, like Jokic is. So I think we're fine there compared to other teams who are lacking in that department. But like I said, it's those wings and those starters. It's kind of like you're going to have Fox. Someone's going to have to have a big night. It's going to have to be Fox, DeMar, or Sabonis. And I think Sabonis and Jokic cancel each other out. So I'm not exactly sure if Sabonis is going to be capable of having a bigger night than, let's say, Fox. Because I know for sure Jamal Murray cannot guard Fox. So if you're missing that much depth tonight, you're looking at the head of the snake as De'Aaron Fox.
If Keegan Murray does not play, the Kings are going to have a very difficult time winning this game because they're going to really miss his defense.
Even with him playing, it's already hard enough.
Playing, but, I mean, without him, that's going to put the Kings in a bind. And again, without Kevin Huerter, as you just said, you're going to need a huge game from Fox, as you pointed out.
Yeah, and okay, let me ask you this. Are you going to be upset if someone like Fox or I wouldn't want to use DeMar because he's the oldest. Let's say Sabonis or Fox plays 40 minutes tonight.
Fine. You just had a lot of days off. You should be well rested. I'm okay with that. You got to win the game.
Okay. I'd be okay with that too, especially like you said. I forgot we had a whole bunch of days off, but
you don't play again until what, Thursday, right?
Right, and we don't have much depth. It's like somebody got to. DeMar's old. I don't need him hurting his back again.
Not old in the sense of
Right.
his productivity on the court. He doesn't look old when he's on the court.
No, not at all. But you know,
So you can't say
his
he's
body's
old. I mean,
taking.
you're worrying too much about stuff you shouldn't worry about right now.
I mean, isn't every Kings fan?
Yeah, but you got to look at this differently. You're very pessimistic right now. You're normally not pessimistic. Like your comments about Keegan Murray don't make sense to me. All you just deal with the fact that it's pro sports, it's the NBA, there are 82 games, and guys get hurt a lot, and guys play hurt a lot, and it's part of the game. You know, don't worry about it. I mean, you think Jamal Murray's probable. He's got hamstring tightness. I can tell you right now, he's not 100%. So, I mean, don't worry about it.
All right. I'll take your word for it. I'll try to relax tonight and enjoy the game.
Relax. I'm just telling you, you're overreacting a little bit. I didn't tell you should relax. I just think you're making too much out of this.
I mean, I'm excited. I don't know what to, I mean, I just started to think of, that's a good point. I've dealt with a lot of anxiety my whole life. So that tends, you tend to think about all the worst possibilities that
look
could
at
happen.
The glass half full. You're looking at the glass half empty. Look at it half full, okay?
All right. I'll take that advice.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, bud. You enjoy the game, okay?
All right. Are you going to tune in, or are you going to watch Monday Night Football?
I'm watching Monday Night Football. I'll be watching a little bit of everything.
There's no point to watch the Raider game. I'll tell you that right now.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Listen, if it comes between watching the NBA and the NFL, it's a very easy decision for me. If it comes between watching the NFL and the National Hockey League, it's a very easy decision for me. Sorry. You see the NBA ratings are down again by 10%. I mean, Adam Silver just can't keep on blaming it on the NFL and the election and everything else. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat donation. Can we get a Christmas rant? What's better, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays? It's whatever you're comfortable with. But thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't have a Christmas rant this year. You'd have to go and check it out on YouTube. But thank you. I do appreciate that. Vikings Bears don't sound great either. Well, it's a rivalry game, and the Vikings have to win. Right? You have to win. So, my Christmas rant was probably, what was that? 10 years ago now? 10 years ago. So, I haven't dealt with that this year, which is good. But I will not have a Christmas rant. But I do appreciate that. And if you need your fix, if you need to get your Christmas rant, just check it out you can Google Grant Napear Christmas rant. Go Golden Knights. Yes. Yes. They're just good every year. I think they missed the playoffs one year. They had a lot of injuries. That was the year before last. Or no, that was last year. And then this year they're loaded up. They had a good off season. So, yeah. They got really good. Well, my buddy puts the team together with his staff, and they do a great job. They really do. They do a great job. Great job. I love hockey, though. Absolutely love hockey, right? Says they want you to have a bunch of subscriptions to keep up with sports now. Lights, I don't quite understand what you mean by that. Can we get a rant on Campbell quitting on his team? I already did a rant on that this week. I did a rant on that Friday. So you can go check it out on my podcast, Apple, Spotify, whatever. Or you can go to my website, grantnapier.com, or ifyoudon'tlikethat.com. All right? There you have it. Don't forget about my merch available on my website. You go to grantnapier.com or ifyoudon'tlikethat.com, and you can check out the new merch available for you this holiday season. Was I surprised that Bill Belichick went to North Carolina? I am surprised. I am. Riley's right. Best bumper sticker I ever saw on the Long Island Expressway in the 70s. Jesus saves, but Espo scores on the rebound. Yes. Get Rhino a King's Press Pass. That's not my domain, but thank you. Sean Salisbury had a great rant as well. Yes, he did. I'm a legend. I don't know about that. I'm not even a legend in my own household. So, but thank you. Appreciate your support. Love it. Thank you very much. Don't forget Rhino, pregame show, halftime show with Jerry Reynolds, postgame show, all coming up right here on If You Don't Like That. What do you think tonight? Think the Kings beat the Nuggets? Going to be hard without Herter and the scoring off the bench. And if Keegan Murray doesn't play, it's going to make life very difficult for the Sacramento Kings. So I'm thinking right now I'd have to give Denver the edge. Denver's been very Jekyll and Hyde this year. They're hard to figure out. You know, they got they lost to the Wizards last week, who had lost 16 in a row. Then they beat clobber Atlanta. I mean, they're up and down. Win one, lose one. Just up and down. Up and down. But I think the Kings are going to have their hands full tonight. And again, let's see what happens with Keegan Murray. They're going to really need him, particularly his defense. He's questionable for the game. My NFL picks tonight, Atlanta and the Vikings. Miss you on Kings TV. Thank you. Appreciate that. Westbrook, 2 of 10 from 3. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. I'm wondering if Keegan Murray does not play, then who will start? It's a very good question. Riley? No. The Kings played Denver once when the Nuggets were healthy, and the Nuggets killed the Kings. The Kings beat the Nuggets in 2 games without Jamal Murray, 1 game without Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon. So don't go by that. Don't go by that at all. Do not. All right? Do not go by that when you look at who played and who didn't. So, yeah. Be careful when you talk about it last year. And like Houston beat the Kings twice last year, and where they beat them all 3 times, but they beat them twice without De'Aaron Fox playing. So Houston won 2 games against the Kings without De'Aaron Fox and then beat them at full strength. You got to look at all that stuff. So, did I see the Willie Cauley-Stein interview on a podcast, feeling a rant coming on? I only watched a little of it. What would I rant on? I only watched a little of it. What part of that did you not like? Celebrated my daughter's birthday at Bennett's Westside Grill Saturday night. The redfish and jalapeno cornbread was awesome. Kings come through. Rich, very happy to hear that. I'm going to take a picture of that and send that to Brian. Love getting the positive feedback here. Willie Cauley-Stein thought that the Kings prevented him from a bigger contract. Yeah, Willie Cauley-Stein's biggest problem was that he played with DeMarcus Cousins. That was his biggest problem. It's probably Crowder or Isaac Jones. Yeah, if he doesn't play. Yeah. Yep. Willie said the Kings sabotage his big payday. Well, that's stupid if he said that. That's stupid. Come on. That's stupid. All right, don't forget, pregame, Rhino, halftime, Jerry Reynolds, postgame show right here. I wanted to come on for a half hour, talk about a couple of things, warm me up for the evening, talk Monday Night Football, talk Kings, and I'll be back with Rhino coming up at halftime. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you soon right here on If You Don't Like That. Bye-bye.